Hello everyone! So it's time for another ScrawlrBox with new delicious art supplies and exciting art prompt challenge. So let's take a look at what's inside this December's box. I'm sure many of you have already seen it here on YouTube since it seemed to be quite a popular box, and I do understand why. First we have December's artist, and I love this. I'm really drawn to mythological creatures and mystic art. Black and white paper sheets, sticker and refreshers, yay! Then we have a regular old HB pencil from Derwent, and I have like 7,000 of these now. And a Pigma Micron 05 fineliner. I don't think I have one in this size. Oh, also, stupid me for always believing that 05 was the size of the pen nib, like 05 stood for 0.5mm, because it doesn't. It is actually 0.45mm. It is the 08 Micron pen that is 0.5. I mean, duh. Seriously, why make it so confusing? Anyways, next is a ZigBrush 2.0 water brush. It is a paintbrush that you fill with water, and this is a flat one. Then we comes to my favorite thing in this whole box, the Gansai Tambi Starry Colors metallic paint. I love this paint. I already have a set like this, obviously, and you have probably seen me using them a few times already. Look how beautiful they are! Then we have the list of all the supplies, and then, dun dun, the challenge. And the theme for this box is mythical creatures, and this is probably one of my favorite prompts so far. I'm really excited about this box, as you can tell, so let's get started. So the pencil and the pen worked just as expected, so that's all good. I'm really happy that they sent black paper to try these paints on, because they do look different on darker background. And a little trick to get more opaque and rich colors is adding a little water to the paint first and let them sit for a moment before painting. It will make the paint nice and creamy to work with. You will still have to work in several layers though, depending on how opaque you want it. So here you can see the paint really pops on this black paper, especially the more silver looking one that is barely visible on the white paper. They are so shiny and beautiful. Alright, enough talking about this magical paint, let's get on with the actual drawing. There are so many things that you can do with this theme, because any kind of animal that you combine with another type of animal could be called a mythical creature, or if you simply just add horns to them like a jackalope or a unicorn. I chose to go with a Swedish fantasy creature that is called Skvader. I don't even know how to say that in English, but it is front part hare and back part wood grouse, which is a big forest bird. The Skvader is kind of a local thing, so I don't even think that many in Sweden knows about it, unless you are from Medelpad, where the myth is from, I think. I don't even live close to that area, I just knows about it because my grandmother lives there, where it's known. Anyways, the Skvader was created from a hunting story or myth back in the 1870s. A hunter claimed that he had seen a winged hare when it was out in the forest, and then he shot it, of course. And then it just became a thing after that, and they made paintings of it, and even a stuffed version that is stored on a museum now. Not a super exciting story perhaps, but it is interesting how different fantasy creatures are born. There is a huge statue of it up on a mountain here in Sweden, and it is actually kind of cute. I've been there myself and seen it. I do have a couple of Micron Pens already, so I have used them a little before, but this is the first time I've used one for a whole drawing like this, and I really loved working with it because it looks pigmented and it seems like the nib could stand the textured watercolor paper pretty well. And it wasn't too inky, you know, when doing pieces like this. I prefer a bit drier fineliner, not dried up but not too juicy, if you know what I mean. When they are of a more dry kind, they are easier to get these really light feathery lines with, which are great for cross-hatching and shading. I think it was very good for me to make this piece because it reminded me of how much I love making art in this style and with this type of art medium. I have actually been struggling a lot lately with my art, mostly with my art style, and I feel like I need to find myself again, you know. I used to make a lot of art like this with fine liners like 5, 6, 7 years ago, and I really enjoyed it. And that's a topic I think I will save for another video, but since it's been on my mind lately, and I think I mentioned it in my last art goal videos in the beginning of the year, I think I will just mention it real quick now too. The fact that I'm not sticking to one kind of art style and art medium is actually really stressing me out sometimes, especially now for some reason. Because it feels like by using all these different art mediums that I do and having all these different art styles, because I like trying out new things, by doing this I'm wasting time that I could have used focusing on developing one specific art style that is unique for me and get really skilled with a specific art medium. And as I said, I'm gonna save this topic for another video where I can talk more in depth about it, because finding your art style is a very interesting and important topic that is worth discussing. So if you have any thoughts of your own on the subject, feel free to share it in the comments below. Anyways, no matter what, I still love trying out different art mediums and art styles, and that's why I keep opening these boxes. And I was really enjoying making this piece because it brought me back to my roots, my drawing roots, back when I started taking art more seriously and did a lot of art in this style. I used the Gansai Tambi colors for the background, and as I said, I am in love with this paint. I often use it to bring dull sketches in my sketchbook to life. I splash a little bit of paint on there and it gives the sketch new life and more glow, literally. Adding it to a black and white drawing like this really makes it pop. It was a little tricky going around the snug corners with a flat brush, but it also gave a very nice and even coat of paint. I'm not a huge fan of these kinds of water brushes usually, since it feels like it dilutes the paint, which I don't like when I'm trying to get more opaque colors. And I have one thing, or two really, but one of the things that I regret is trying to splash the paint on the paper. I want it to look a little messy, which I think I achieved actually, but not in a good way. I usually just take a pen and tap the paintbrush with really gently that is loaded up with paint, and the paint will splash onto the paper. But it was really hard doing that with this flat brush for some reason, and it ended up looking a little poopy. But I'm just gonna embrace it and call it a happy accident. And another thing I regret is the front wing. I started to mess it up a little and then it just went downhill from there. It isn't terrible, but I wish I left more white in there. I think it looks a little too dense now and too dark. But other than that, I am really happy with how this turned out. The process itself was really fun and I enjoyed the supplies, especially the Micron pen and the paints, of course. I hope you enjoyed this video and the drawing, and if you want to try out the box yourself, check out the links in the description box below. Thanks ScrawlrBox for keep sending me these boxes to play with, and thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and I will see you next time. Keep drawing my happy cats. Bye!